So following the new Doomsday casting reveal, I just wanted to go through and piece together all of the information that we were given. And this is going to be taking into consideration the names that were excluded from this. So just trying to piece together what this really means for the plot. I think one of the major ones that you have to look at first is Tom Holland's Spider-Man. And I really think this is one of the ones that does make a little bit more sense here. I think really speaking to Spider-Man 4, which is going to be between both Doomsday and Secret Wars, I do think you are going to be saving Spider-Man's presence for that, but I really think it has to tie into No Way Home, given the spell that Doctor Strange cast in addition to Spider-Man 4, so I think we'll likely get him in Secret Wars, and I think obviously you're going to have a lot of elements of his own movie tying into that as well. But another major one here I think that does make somewhat of sense is Wanda's exclusion. I think really following the events of Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, this could be the end for Wanda's character, but I think more than likely you are going to get a variant of some sorts. I think maybe because of that, it is a little bit surprising that you're not seeing Elizabeth Olsen listed in this, but we do know that variants can look both identical or similar or even completely different to the original 616 variants that we know of. So it's possible Wanda is going to be played by someone different here, or maybe she just won't have as significant of a role to really list her in this. It is still possible they bring her back, or maybe she'll also be someone that appears in Secret Wars, but there is a good chance that we're really moving on from her character, at least for right now. And another one I think is a little bit more perplexing in terms of why they were left out is both Hulk and She-Hulk. Speaking to the concept art that was leaked out, even though we have some confirmation that this wasn't necessarily the versions that they're going with, but I think looking at that, you obviously see what looks to be a Hulk-centered world, which very likely could come into place during Battle World, so it's definitely possible that they're being saved for that, and we're really going to see that in Secret Wars, but I'm not really too sure why you wouldn't see them before any of that would have happened. Another one I think that's a little bit of a mystery is not seeing Doctor Strange listed here. It is definitely possible that he continues to be a mentor-like figure for Spider-Man in the fourth movie, but I think that also wouldn't be possible given the spell that he casted, but he definitely could still be a big part of Spider-Man 4 since we know that they both are living in New York. You also don't have Wong being listed here. Maybe that's in relation to Strange or maybe not. I think it would have made more sense if you had in the events of Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, if you really had Doctor Strange getting somehow stuck in the multiverse, which really would have left him out of Doomsday, and then once you're eventually getting Battle World, it would make more sense to bring him back. But because none of that really happened, I'm not too sure why you're not having Doctor Strange in this. I would think he would obviously be one of the main Avengers going forward and would even put himself in a more leadership-like role, especially following both Tony Stark and Steve Rogers' exit in this universe. And then also looking to the Marvels, you're not having any of them listed here, or Captain Marvel specifically. I think that also is a little bit interesting. Maybe some of the other Marvel characters here will be part of the Young Avengers, and also with the Beast inclusion, it does look like that's pointing towards bringing that universe into this one, but I'm not really too sure why you're not getting that here. You're also not getting the Eternals. I think really looking to the rest of the MCU, this does make sense since they have pretty much stayed out of all of the major issues that have come up, such as in Infinity War or Endgame, so it really wouldn't make sense for them to show up here. And I think even looking outside inside the plot itself, you're more than likely not going to get the Eternals because you're having so many groups already coming together for Doomsday. I think that would just overshadow the others a little bit. And then another one in terms of what we've gotten more recently is Oscar Isaac's Moon Knight. And I definitely think, even though the show takes a few different tangents and is a little bit hard to follow towards the end of it, I really still think the Moon Knight character is interesting, and I think it would be neat to have him joining the Avengers in this. It is possible he has just more of a smaller or cameo-like role, so you're not getting him listed for the main cast, but I still think it would be great to have him. Maybe he just also won't make an appearance, similar to Daredevil or Matt Murdock. But I would say Daredevil would be a little bit more understandable because he is just more centered in the street level crime of New York, even though we have seen him in Spider-Man No Way Home. He also would forget Peter Parker's identity following that spell, so maybe that would be enough of a reason to leave him out as well. But another one I think maybe haven't gotten as much attention in this is both Nick Fury and Iron Patriot or Rhodes, and I really think that's interesting because I would assume you would obviously have Rhodes being a part of this and still being a active member of the Avengers, so I think it is a little bit mysterious why neither of them are listed. The only thing I could really think to is the Skrull plot lines. I think another one, you're not getting Hawkeye. It's maybe possible he's more retired during this time, or you're not getting his daughter as well, but that more than likely is being saved for the Young Avengers, so that would make sense here. But another major exclusion from this, I think, would be the Guardians of the Galaxy, since we have seen them working so closely with the Avengers in those past two movies. Even though you have a little bit of a new direction for them, I don't think there's really anything in the third movie that would give a reason for why they wouldn't rejoin here for the next Avengers mission. And you also have the tease that Star-Lord is going to return. Again, I think the common theme here is maybe they're also being saved for Secret Wars, but I think really just looking outside the plot, similar to the Eternals, I think you really don't want to have too many other teams joining with the Avengers, since you're already getting the Fantastic Four, the X-Men, and the Thunderbolts, in addition to some of the new Avengers members. So maybe that was just a creative decision to put them to the side for this. But feel free to let me know your thoughts on who's missing, and I'll see you later.